So, it's happening. We're getting a Mario and Rabbids crossover game. Ubisoft kicks off their conference with news we kind of already knew, but I don't think anyone really believed it, but yes, it is happening. So Mario Cross Rabbids Kingdom Battle is happening, apparently. Okay. Now, what kind of game do you think it is? Because it's not a platformer. It's not an RPG. No, it's a tactical turn-based shooter like XCOM. I did not see that coming. Okay. Fine, it looks like a fun game. I'm shocked I'm saying that a Mario Cross Rabbids game looks like it'll be fun. But whatever. Seems fairly tactically advanced. And I don't know who they're appealing to for the game, because I mean Mario fine has its hardcore gamers, absolutely. Rabbids not really, it's really more of a kids game, and XCOM is very much a hardcore gamer game, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. It's almost certainly a Switch exclusive as well. I don't know, I'm getting more reasons to get a Switch now. I didn't think a Rabbids game would be one of them, but here we are. Anyway, looks fun. Hopefully see more in the future. This being Ubisoft's press conference, obviously we were going to see more of Assassin's Creed Origins, although we didn't see a lot. All we saw was a trailer that was only really showing off the world. You know, there was no gameplay, there was no story beats, nothing. It was just, here's Egypt, basically, within the Assassin's Creed Origins universe. I don't know, kind of weird. But then they made this weird cut to a live panel showing the game running off camera. I don't, like, why? That was such a weird choice to make. I guess they're trying to tell you that, hey, the game is playable here at the show, but whatever. This is the E3 conference. Like, vast majority of your viewers are not at the show anyway. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Origins is there, obviously, Ubisoft conference. So The Crew 2 gets a CG trailer, so who knows how the actual game will look. Although they did have a gameplay trailer later on, but, you know, it's Ubisoft, you can't really trust them. Anyway. I kind of forgot The Crew existed as a game, so I had trouble trying to work out what this game was. I thought it was something else. Anyway, The Crew 2 will expand on The Crew 1 by adding pretty much every vehicle that has an engine, it seems. So The Crew 1 was obviously cars, but The Crew 2 will be motorbikes, speedboats, airplanes. You know, if it has an engine, it seems it'll be in monster trucks. Yeah, okay. If you like racing games, sure. I don't know. There wasn't exactly a whole lot of buzz about the original The Crew. None that I've heard, anyway. So I don't know. I had some interest in the original since they were trying to do a kind of drive across America type thing. I don't know how well they pulled it off. Again, the lack of buzz would imply they didn't pull it off, but anyway, from a technical standpoint, that would be amazing. Like a one-to-one geographical map of a country that you can just drive through. Like an interactive Google Maps with photogrammetry, you know? That would be insane, but no, there's no way they pulled that off. And The Crew 2, I'm sure it's just more vehicles and probably similar maps. Oh, I don't know. If you like racing games, sure. I do know that flight is extremely difficult to do well, or at least to do well in an entertaining way, so good luck to them. Here's a trailer to remind you that there is a new South Park game coming out. South Park: The Fractured Butt Hole. Fuck's sake. Anyway, this has kind of been mired in development hell for a while now. It really should have been released last year. But anyway, trailer to remind you is coming out. If you played Stick of Truth, it seems to be the same thing, but with superheroes this time. So not a massive departure. That had some technical problems itself, so hopefully they've been ironed out for this one. So this is Transference, kind of just showing off live action, talking about the game. I don't know how much of this is going to be in-game. It's going to be a VR title, a kind of thriller, bordering horror VR experience. Again, VR titles showing off gameplay and showing off how they work is very difficult to do in front of an audience, so a lot of talky about the game. You can see Elijah Wood is in some way attached. If he's starring in the game, I don't know, or if he's on the producing side. No idea. We know very little about the game, basically. That's all I can say. It's called Transference, it's a VR title, and it's kind of sort of a thriller, kind of sort of paranormal horror type deal. Anyway. So this is Skull and Bones. It's going to be a competitive multiplayer, falling asleep, pirate game where you have a crew of ships and you fight another crew of ships, I guess, for getting loot and such. I could not yawn any harder at this, honestly. It's using Assassin's Creed Black Flag's pirate ship engine, if you like. Pirate ship technology. So if you like that, you'll probably know, and you like competitive multiplayer, you'll probably enjoy it. Some people likening it to Sea of Thieves, which I think is a mistake. I'd say Skull and Bones is a much smaller game. I would almost say it's probably going to be a downloadable title, like a half price of a full game, if you like. 5v5, 3v3, 1v1, that kind of thing. I don't see it having a massive single player campaign, and if it does, it's probably just going to be a tutorial. As opposed to Sea of Thieves, which seems more like a kind of shared open world sandbox thing. So they're very much different beasts, even though on the surface they may seem like the same game. They also showed off some gameplay of a 5v5 match. To be honest, I just zoned out. You can make up your own decisions as to whether you like this kind of game. I know I don't, so that was it for me. I'm just gonna move on. Then we had some Sub-Zero cosplayers out to tell us about Just Dance 2018. Followed up by a, I guess, well-known recording artist. I have no idea who she is. And I'm not being shitty about that. I legit have no idea. Even they put her name up and everything. I was still, I don't know, very much out of the loop on this. Anyway, Just Dance 2018 is coming to pretty much every single console out there, all the way back to the Wii. Anyway, if you like that, you probably knew that already. Here's Starlink Battle for Atlas. Looks like a space shooter type deal, maybe a bit of No Man's Sky to it. The big takeaway from this is it's a Toys to Life game. If you don't know what that is, you just think Skylanders or Disney Infinity or Lego Dimensions. What basically is you get a physical toy and you connect it to your console in some way. They all have their own different ways of doing it. And that toy will either show up in-game or do something in-game. And then the Lego variety is the different variations that you do of your Lego piece is supposed to show up. I don't know how well that works, to be honest. They seem like a massive money sink, and I'm staying very, very far away from them. Why it's notable here, it's very late in the game to be getting into Toys to Life, particularly since Disney, who have, so many franchises they can pull from, and they're stepping away from it, and Activision with Skylanders are taking a break. Really the only people still going at it is Lego, and I think the inherent value in just owning Lego pieces is enough to keep most people going on that. So I don't know. It was also presented by this guy with a terrible hat. I don't know why he chose to wear that, but anyway, massive jokes about 1920s paper routes. Anyway, Steep is getting a tie-in with the upcoming 2018 Olympics. Presumably it's the Winter Olympics. I don't know. So it's all the the Winter Olympic sports that you have with the falling down in fancy ways on fancy pieces of wood, and well, I doubt they're made of wood anymore. Plastics and carbon fibers and all those things. Kind of strange, honestly, since Steep is very freeform. There's no courses or anything like that in Steep, which is kind of something that put me off it in the first place. I was looking for more of an SSX thing. And obviously the Olympics is very rigid. There's an actual course for you to follow. There's scores, there's points to accumulate, there's rules to follow, and so on. So, strange. I mean, it's not so strange. I mean, Steep already has these sports in it. It obviously makes sense to just add them, but I don't know, I thought it was weird. More of a look at Far Cry 5, obviously being announced prior to E3 kind of took a bit of the shock out of it. So they had this kind of CG trailer giving us another look at the main villain, presumably, of Far Cry 5, and we've also had a gameplay trailer showing off the companions, I guess, companion system that they have. People you can hire in-game to kind of help you out, or your co-op buddy, or the dog. Far Cry 5 has a companion dog, like all good games should. Don't know how the system works exactly, but the dog is fantastic. He, robs guns off people and brings them over to you, and attacks enemies, and great. Hopefully they'll take the correct video game rules route, which is the dog can't die. Fuck you, Fable. Okay, everybody calm down. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is happening. Holy shit. Okay, I need to calm down myself. Fuck. Right. Okay, years for asking of it. Fucking 15 years. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is finally happening. No more rumors. It's actually out there on the stage for Ubisoft, closing out their conference. They're putting some effort behind it. Okay, granted, it's a CG trailer and not to be trusted, sure, but you know what? Just fuck off, brain, for a minute and just let me have this. Almost squealing, fucking watching this. God damn it. Got me good. Ubisoft, they got me good. My jaded heart. That pun was not intended. Shit. Okay, anyway, Beyond Good and Evil 2. What do we know? Not a whole lot, actually. It's going to be set prior to the original, so it's a prequel. And okay, my personal feelings aside about prequels, fine, whatever. I guess they really had nowhere to go with the story, and also it's been 15 years, so they're gonna need to reintroduce the series to people. So a prequel is probably the best way to do that. Other than that, not a whole lot to go on. We've got this big open world looking thing in the CG trailer, but how much of that is going to be, how much of that is going to be in game, who knows. Cooperative elements, there was talk of it being multiplayer as well, so again, my personal feelings about multiplayer aside, how much of that's going to be in game. They brought out the narrative director to talk about it, so hopefully the multiplayer is kind of pushed to the side a little bit. It's there if you want it, but it's not essential. Hopefully that's where they're going. Focus on the single player. Focus on the quirky world. That was what people liked about Beyond Good and Evil, so don't fuck that up, for the love of God. It's been 15 years. Holy shit. Okay, and that was Ubisoft's press conference. Beyond Good and Evil 2 was fucking announced, so yes, pretty happy about that. And then Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, sure. I mean, I'll get around to playing them. Other than that, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still so hyped about Beyond Good and Evil 2, anyway. Sony's press conference still to come, so look out for that.
All this world. Again, thank you to all these teams behind us.